Ethiopia and Eritrea's rivalry is one of Africa's most enduring and consequential conflicts. This is not just a border dispute, it's a struggle that has shaped the entire Horn of Africa, impacting millions and drawing in global powers. The two nations share intertwined histories and cultures, but their bitter separation left Ethiopia landlocked and both countries deeply mistrustful. The unresolved issues from Eritrea's independence have fueled decades of tension, proxy wars, and regional instability. International players like Egypt, the UAE, and Turkey have all been drawn in, making any flare-up a potential regional crisis. As of late 2025, both sides have mobilized troops, and rhetoric is escalating over Ethiopia's push for port access and Eritrea's fierce defense of its sovereignty. Failed peace efforts and the scars of the Tigray War have eroded trust, leaving the region on a knife's edge. The world watches anxiously, hoping for diplomacy to prevent another devastating war. The conflict's roots lie in colonial history. Eritrea was ruled by Italy, then Britain, while Ethiopia remained independent. After World War II, the UN federated Eritrea with Ethiopia, promising autonomy, but Ethiopia soon annexed Eritrea, sparking a 30-year war for independence. Eritrea's hard-won sovereignty in 1993 left Ethiopia landlocked, losing vital ports and creating immediate friction. Disputes over trade, currency, and especially the border quickly surfaced, erasing the goodwill from their joint struggle against the Derg regime. The most explosive issue was the border, leading to the 1998 to 2000 war over towns like Badme. The conflict killed tens of thousands, displaced many more, and cemented deep animosity between the former allies. The unresolved border and economic grievances set the stage for 2 decades of cold hostility. What began as a fight for self-determination became a bitter rivalry with regional consequences. The legacy of mistrust and loss continues to shape both nations' politics and security. The seeds of today's crisis were sown in these early years of separation. The 1998 to 2000 border war ended with the Algiers Agreement, but Ethiopia refused to cede disputed territory, leaving the border tense and militarized. Eritrea became isolated and militarized under President Isaias, while Ethiopia's TPLF-led government maintained the stalemate. In 2018, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed's rise brought a brief thaw. Ethiopia accepted the peace deal, embassies reopened, and Abiy won the Nobel Peace Prize. But this peace was fragile, built on a shared hostility toward the TPLF, not true reconciliation. When war erupted in Tigray in 2020, Eritrea and Ethiopia allied against the TPLF, resulting in catastrophic violence and humanitarian crisis. The Pretoria Peace Agreement ended the Tigray conflict but excluded Eritrea, reigniting mistrust between Abiy and Isaias. The alliance collapsed and old suspicions returned, leaving the border as volatile as ever. The fleeting peace proved to be a temporary pause in a much deeper rivalry. The shadow of Tigray continues to haunt relations, fueling new tensions. Ethiopia's landlocked status is now the central flashpoint. Dependent on Djibouti's port, Ethiopia pays steep fees and feels vulnerable, prompting Prime Minister Abiy to demand Red Sea access as a national imperative. Eritrea's port of Assab is the obvious target, but any suggestion of ceding control is seen as an existential threat by Asmara. Ethiopia's 2024 deal with Somaliland to lease coastline for a naval base alarmed the region, angered Somalia, and confirmed Eritrea's fears of Ethiopian expansionism. Eritrea responded by strengthening alliances with Egypt and Somalia, and both sides began military buildups along the border. Diplomatic ties froze, flights were suspended, and the risk of war grew. The Red Sea access dispute has become the most dangerous standoff in decades. The region teeters on the brink, with both nations unwilling to back down.